My name is Mark Jula. I am a Senior Solution Advisor with Rocket Software. I work on the IBM storage products, and that includes the OMEGAMON for storage product. What we're going to talk about today is the user interfaces associated with OMEGAMON for storage. So what we have up here on the screen right now is the TEP. The TEP stands for Tivoli Enterprise Portal. And after this, we will discuss the E3270 display, which is a green screen type user interface that looks more like a TSO session. Some people prefer the TEP, some people prefer the E3270. Your choice. E3270 is more of a green screen, like I said. This is a more colorful user interface, to say the least. What I want to say first here is OMEGAMON. It is a real-time monitoring product. So everything that's real-time, OMEGAMON's out there looking at it. This whole screen that we're looking at, this is what we call a workspace. The subdivisions within the workspace are called panes. So there's one special pane up here in the left-hand corner that is called the navigator. And what the navigator allows you to do, it's to interact with the different OMEGAMONs that are running on your system. And what we're going to talk about today is the storage one. But I will move up this little bar, and you can see we have multiple LPARs with multiple OMEGAMONs running, one for KICS, DB2, IMS, JVM, mainframe, MQ. So there's quite a few different ones. And what we're concentrating on today is going to be the storage. You've got the navigation tree, then you have the workspace with the different panes over here. At the very top of this screen, you see different icons. And what these icons allow you to do, this green arrow here, what this allows you to do is anywhere you go within the OMEGAMON product here, you use this green arrow, you'll go backwards one page. And if you go into something else, for instance, let's click on the application summary. So we clicked on the application summary, and this is just standard stuff. You can go back. And then now you have two different arrows. You have two different green arrows, one to go back into the application summary if you want, or if you click this, it's going to take us out of OMEGAMON. So that's just the arrows that allow you to go backwards and forward. These are, for instance, if you create a workspace and you want to save it, that allows you to do that. You could administer users with this icon, add users, delete users, change different accesses for already existing users, or whatever you want to do with a user for the OMEGAMON, really the whole OMEGAMON product, or just to access the TEP. This one is one that I use all the time. It's to turn the sounds on and off. And what happens is when you create a situation and it fires off for whatever reason or whatever you're monitoring, you get a sound. If you have a whole bunch of situations out there that are firing off all the time, you get a whole lot of sound. So if you want to, you can either turn the volume down on your PC or your laptop, or you can just mute it. There's a little bar right here that kind of separates. These are kind of like system settings. Over here on the right-hand side, you have different kinds of charting available for these different panes within the workspace. So if you want to create a pie chart, you could do that, or a bar chart, area charts. So you can create multiple kinds of charts, table charts. So you can do a lot of different things. This is a universal message. Here you have a message log you can look at. Just different kinds of things that you can do with the product. So this is just the different icons that are across the top used within this TEP display. So the storage overview. This isomds.rs01.storage, this is what is called an agent. So this is an agent running, and all these things underneath here are what are called workspaces. So the application summary, if we click on that, we have set up OMEGAMON started tasks. This is for storage. The ISOM ones are for storage. We're just monitoring these over here. So that's what the application summary would be. You can look at your channel paths. You can look at your control unit performance. You can look at your control unit status, logical. You can look at your tapes, your SMS storage group performance, your SMS storage group space. You can define user groups, look at that performance and space. You can look at your HSM status. If we click on that, you'll see a very familiar display of the different you have, well, this is just showing that you have HSM available over here. And then just shows you the HSM status that's running for your different CDSs and your different plexes that are within this monitoring. You can look at your tape management system. You can look at your SMS configuration. If we click on that, it's going to show you the different SMSs that are running out here, and data classes, your management classes, and your storage classes. And you also can look at your different storage groups. So, just a display, and it shows you the SMS base configuration, whether it's active or what's going on. So you have quite a few different things you can look at. So you can look at your storage. Yeah, there's a storage toolkit. We won't talk about that now, but that's where you can define if you have a situation that kicks off and fires. You have a toolkit. For instance, you can allow it, if you look at maybe some space running out of space, you can actually go out there and migrate some data sets to like from ML1 to ML2, or you can migrate them to ML1 from primary to SD if you want to. So you got the agents and you got the different workspaces. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to click on the SMS storage group space. We'll kind of discuss that a little bit. What we have down here at the bottom is a table report. All this is just table data from your SMS environment. And since OMEGAMON is a real-time monitoring product, if you went out there and defined a new storage group to SMS right now, and just refresh this screen, it would be picked up here because OMEGAMON goes out there and queries SMS to see what's happening and display what's going on with SMS. If you look at the different columns, it has names, group names, storage group types, enabled. So you have quite a few different columns here of data that are displayed in this. And you can move your bar here at the bottom, and then you can go and look at the different things that are out there. So each column, like a group name, storage group type, and you got these things like the different fragmentation indexes, the space free, and all this other stuff that you're looking at. Each one of these columns are an attribute. We'll jump up to this chart up here real quick. So this is a bar chart. You can create a chart for any one of these attributes in this table column. What this one is looking at storage groups with free space less than 10%. So what that attribute is right here, this is the free space percent. And if you click on any one of these attributes, any one of the columns, it's going to sort it. So free space percent, we look at, I clicked it once and it went from the lowest to the highest. And if you look, we have 1, 2, 3, we have 4 volumes that are less than 10%. And that's what we're looking here. Storage groups with free space less than 10%. So we have this one, which is the SGDB31, and it is right there, that volume, and it is 8.4% free space. That's how you can chart your different attributes within this table report at the bottom. And if you click it again, the column, it's going to sort it back to the top. So these colored displays within this table group, these are what are called thresholds. So a threshold is basically just a highlighted value that shows up on your screen to let the user, being you, know that there may be a problem here. Your free space, this one's less than 0 to 5%. So these are the lower utilized volumes. And then this is the yellow one, free space between 5 and 10. So different thresholds you can set on any one of these to display, and it's just basically a visual display. It's just showing you there's no take actions. It's just letting you know that there could be something going on over here. So over here we have a slider bar that goes up and down, and it shows you more information down at the bottom. Okay, so we got quite a few storage groups in this LPAR. We started the demo LPAR. So if you look, I moved it back to the top. This arrow says, okay, we're at the top. But if you look at this one, it's red. So what that red says is that there are some more red thresholds down at the bottom being displayed, as well as yellow. Red is more serious than yellow. So red's considered critical, yellow is informational. So if I go to the very bottom, then this display turns from red back to just a gray color. Now this up arrow is red, and that just is saying, you got some more displays up here that are red. And you can also, if you look at the columns that have any kind of an indicator, so for instance, X is red, and then this little triangle is for the lower severity ones. If you click on that, it's going to sort and put all the ones that have the severity up top. If you click on the red ones, it'll do the same thing, bring all the red ones that are up top. So you got the reds, and then you got the yellows. Now, if you look at this over here now, we got all the reds at the top. This little arrow here says there's more yellows because all the red ones are up there. You have some yellow displays down here, yellow threshold. So that's what that's telling you. So that's what the columns are and the different thresholds, the different attributes. Now over here, you can sort on the group name as well. We'll just go back to the way it was. We have a little threshold that's set over here. And you see this little right here. We're not going to really go into it, but we'll take a real quick look at it. This is the link that's, if you wanted to take a look at this message, this threshold being exceeded, you would click on this link and it allows you to go to different reporting features within this storage group. So you can look at the SMS storage group volume space. You can look at the trending reports. You can look at the lowest volume. So there's quite a few different things you can look at here. If I click on this very top one, it's going to take us to a different display, and it's going to show us the volume. There's only 2 volumes in there, and it kind of shows you the information on the 2 volumes within that storage group. And again, you can move your cursor across the top, and it'll show you the column displays and what's information. Again, you have this across the bottom. You can move it to see the other columns on the right-hand side. And up here, we have volumes with free space less than 10% in this storage group. And we have 1, which is the CXP 301 volume, CXP 301, and the free space is less than 10%. So that's a real quick overview of the TEP user interface for the OMEGAMON for Storage product. And what we're going to look at next, we'll take a look at the E3270 display and compare some of the different columns within the E3270 back to the TEP. This is our SDSF display. These ISOM names are the started tasks for the different OMEGAMONs that are running on the system. If you look at this one down here, ISOM Tom, you select it. It opens up an application. This is a name, IS01OBAP. So I highlight that and I copy that name and I go out to another TSO logon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say L space IS01OBAP. What this is going to bring me up is the E3270 display for OMEGAMON. So you put your user ID in here and you can log on. And this is going to bring up the E3270 display. It's a lot different than the TEP display, but you have the same information in here. You have ZOS running, you have CICS, OMEGAMON, and down here you have storage. And these screens here, you can use your cursor, but you have to double click on this. So if I want to go to storage, I double click, and it takes me into storage. And if you remember in our TEP view, we had the RS Plex 03, which is up here. Plex. So it's got the same name down here. So what I like to do is I put my cursor there, and you can put a / in any of these, and it's going to show you your options menu. So you can type either a 1 or an S, and it's going to give you your SMS Plex overview. So again, we have RS01, RS02, and if we look over back at the TEP display, we have RS01, and we have RS02. So, you get the same information in this E3270, and it's a green screen. So if I put a / on this one, RS01, what I could look at is the same information that's in the TEP, but you have to dig a little bit deeper to get some information. So we were looking at our situation, SMS storage group space. So what we have to look at is option 6, which is DASD storage and user groups. So if we type a 6, and this is the SMS storage group space. It's the same information. We type in S or 2, and you're going to get the same thing. You get the storage group name on this side, you get the storage group status, and then you can look at different displays in here, and you can use the arrows here to go down. This arrow right here is highlighted in red, and what that's telling you is there's more data over here, and there's some red displays. You have to double click to get to these. If you want to go down, you double click on that one. So it's basically the same information that you see in the TEP display, but it is green screen format. I will say that mostly operations will use this, or systems programmers, And then the TEP display would be more for like maybe an operations type person that's just monitoring the system, or like a help desk that's using the TEP display. So that's a quick overview of the two different displays into the OMEGAMON storage product. There's going to be some more videos, so stay tuned and thanks.